All protocols being observed. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Bring some life to the event. Let me try one more time. Good evening, everyone. Well done. Now, the registrar would have told you 8,645. So that's a lot. And to bring comments or greetings on their behalf will be quite a task, but I will try nonetheless. On behalf of the student population, I must say, first and foremost, well done VC on your year so far as Vice Chancellor, and also congratulations on becoming the Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. The year so far has provided students with a taste of what the Ivelaw Griffith experience is. And from the commentary of the students, I believe what I'm getting is that they feel that this taste is similar to the capacity of dining on a Creole fish dish. And you all know, for those of us who have had Creole fish dish, despite those pesky bones in the fish, the more bones in the fish, the sweeter it is. Do I hear an amen? And to quote our Honorable President during his quarantine campaign, I can clearly remember him saying, "Who doesn't like fish?" Now, VC, your tenure, during your tenure, the students have seen things. And whether or not it has been your doing or the doing of your staff, we students view these actions as the actions of the administrative team. So, Vice Chancellor, your actions, your ambitions, your visions, these have an impact on how the student population views you and your staff. I want to believe that the student body views you like I had previously described, like a Creole fish dish. Under your tenure, we have seen a new lecture theatre. We have more ways, or more comfortable ways to pay our tuition. We have increased tuition, which might be one of those bones I mentioned earlier. We have accessible Wi-Fi in the dorms as well as on the campus, and students can look forward to, by the end of this academic year, the construction of the student complex. Disappointment, of course, will be another one of those bones I mentioned. So, I'm finished with the fish gimmicks. Winding down to the end of my presentation, Vice Chancellor, there are students that understand your vision and some that don't. I therefore charge you with strengthening your transparency campaigns and increased inclusivity within the university. By now, you will be more acquainted with your team and staff, and I hope you will also strengthen transparency and team inclusivity with them. Finally, as you would say, keep on keeping on, and remember, the student body is forever watching you. Everyone have a swimming evening.
Thank you, Registrar. Good afternoon, everyone. All protocol observed. It gives me great pleasure in bringing greetings on behalf of faculty and staff, academic and non-academic, of the University of Guyana, Professor Ivelaw Griffith, on his formal installation as the 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, a position, Vice Chancellor, that you have earned with distinction. This is truly one of the most deserved appointments in our history, in our university history. And already during the embryonic stage of your tenure, we have seen significant positive changes, one of which is quite evident, that the university has indeed strengthened its social accountability to the nation. VC Griffith has indeed injected new life and energy into the entire university community. In a very short time, VC Griffith has healed several wounds that the university has suffered over the years. Some of these wounds, like the immune disorder, were self-inflicted, while others were gained their origin in forces external to the university. We now have a much healthier university under the leadership of Vice Chancellor Griffith. So even though we can now breathe much easier, there's still much more to be done at both the Turkine and Team campuses. We have no doubt that Vice Chancellor Ivelaw Griffith is the perfect Vice Chancellor to oversee the much needed resuscitation and restoration of the nation's premier academic institution. And with great enthusiasm, we all look forward to the exciting next chapter of this national institution through his leadership to take us even to higher heights of excellence. Vice Chancellor, the university community feels that your leadership, your inspiration, and the vision for the university's future is more than commendable. We are more than grateful for your presence at this critical part of our history. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this momentous celebration and ongoing journey. With deep admiration and respect, we all salute you and best wishes to you, and may God bless your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and a slight correction there. I am not from the Bahamas. I am from the Caicos Islands. So there are corrections there, but I'd like to observe the protocol that has already been established and bid you all a very good afternoon. As a graduate of this noble institution, the University of Guyana, which was very integral in shaping my thoughts and preparing me for my journey in life, I am deeply humbled to be here on this most historic occasion to witness the investiture of my classmate as the 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. It is historic because this is the first time that I know that an investiture takes place. And I am fully persuaded that history will look kindly upon this day. This is not only a departure from the norm, but it reflects the inevitability of change. I was reading Deepak Malhotra's book, Who Moved My Cheese? And in it, he speaks not only to the need to accept that change happens, but of the necessity to adapt and move on. Whilst many of us accept that change is inevitable and necessary, for many it can be the most daunting and stressful challenge that they face. We know too that holding on to traditional norms that are no longer relevant is really not an option. But many often lack the courage to sever those ties and moved forward on a different platform in a quest for relevance and success. Those who would lead and shape the new environment must be bold, innovative, and challenging. I most certainly believe that this being the formal conferment of the rank and honor of Vice Chancellor on Professor Griffith portends the change and leadership that he will bring to the University of Guyana and to the wider Guyana society. Today, this ceremony and the investiture of Professor Ivelaw Griffith is an acknowledgement that the most qualified and suitable individual to effect the change has been selected. And I say that having the confidence that he has lived what he believes. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Professor Griffith, listening to your observations and plans over the last couple of days, and the incremental changes that you have already made for the restoration of the University of Guyana, I know that you are not standing on the shore and staring at the water. I applaud you. And so, on behalf of the class of 1980 and the other Turks and Caicos Islander, Carlos Simons QC, who shared time and benefited from this institution, I congratulate you. And I wish you all the best as you move forward towards renewing and rebranding the University of Guyana. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Registrar. And I assume that more people of us have observed I will say a special good afternoon to our special guest, Vice Chancellor, or husband, and the Chancellor of the University. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Timothy Beckles, and the entire University of the West Indies, I am pleased to bring greetings and congratulations to Professor Ivelaw Lloyd Griffith on the occasion of his formal investiture as the 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. Vice Chancellor Griffith is a well-respected man of Caribbean academia and comes to this position at a time of economic and societal uncertainty throughout the Caribbean, but also at a time when Guyana is embarking on an exciting future fueled literally by oil. I have no doubt, Vice Chancellor, that at this time of opportunity and challenge, you are the ideal man to lead the University of Guyana and to help facilitate its educational agenda for the benefit of the people of Guyana. Vice Chancellor, you have spoken about dreaming and doing and enabling discovery in all relevant fields. May I remind you that the University of the West Indies and the University of Guyana have enjoyed a deep and fulfilling relationship over decades. We have worked together on staff exchanges and research, teaching of courses, in particular courses like in international relations and engineering here at the University of Guyana, and have shared scholarships programs such as the Education for Climate Change, Adaptation and Mitigation, or ECAM, with the University of Fiji, and the Caribbean Pacific Island Mobility Scheme, or CARPOS, implemented by the European Union. But as we have already discussed with Vice Chancellor Beckles, there needs to be more between the University of Guyana and the Regional University of the West Indies. We look forward to the collaboration on and implementation of the proposal for a jointly owned institution which will bind our two universities more firmly together. For this and many other reasons, the Vice Chancellor is looking forward to meeting you in the near future. So on behalf of the University of the West Indies, congratulations and best wishes for a successful and productive tenure as the 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Have a great evening.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is with great pleasure and an honor for me to be here today to say congratulations to a friend who I've known for 23 years from Florida International University when we were professors at FIU. But I'm also here to say congratulations and best wishes all the way from the west coast of Africa, Liberia, with its 360 miles of coastline, Atlantic coastline, and 4.4 million people, and 43,000 square miles, where the University of Liberia is located, with its 23,000 students, 1,000 faculty, 1,100 staff, with its 8 undergraduate colleges, 4 graduate programs, 3 institutes and centers, and 3 professional schools. We wish you, with the Almighty's help and guidance, we wish you courage, fortitude, understanding, patience, to steer this university and administer the affairs of this university according to its charter, according to its rules and regulations, according to its established policies. We wish you all the best. And we also hope that the people of Guyana, the faculty, the staff, the students, will put their arms around you and help you make this university greater than it is. And we also hope that our 2 institutions will work together in a collaborative and mutually beneficial set of projects. Thank you and congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. I am honored on behalf of President Leo Broark, Board of Governors, faculty, staff, and students of Trent University to bring deep-hearted congratulations to Ivelaw Griffith on this installation. We note that it's a challenging time for higher education. It is a time when we've had to explain our relevance, increasingly so, and perhaps rightfully so. We note that this is a time in this country's future where the University of Guyana shall have to play a very pivotal role in preparing our nation for the challenges and opportunities ahead. I wish to say to you, Vice Chancellor, that Trent University looks forward to a continuing and deepening relationship with the University of Guyana. We have been very fortunate to train several of your students in postgraduate degrees. We look forward to increasing that role. We're very delightful that several of your senior administration hold adjunct professorship status at Trent, and we look forward to broadening that collaboration as well. Several roads will lead to Guyana, not only because we are from Noel, but because we continue to maintain one of the most pristine environmental landscapes in the world. As the world looks forward to sustainability, as the world looks forward to understanding more how we can continue to maintain our planet's integrity, Guyana provides a living laboratory. And so it will increasingly become a destination for the world's academics. And I can think of no more fitting leader to ensure that we prepare to receive the rest of the world. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations, Professor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, much as I dislike the practice, I recognize that the protocols have been established. Let me extend to you very, very warm greetings from the management and staff of the Caribbean Development Bank, especially the Guyana contingent in the CDB. Ladies and gentlemen, in my job, I have the privilege of carrying out many pleasant activities, many pleasurable activities. This one is very special to me because I had the opportunity to meet this afternoon with the Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Professor Ivelaw Griffith. You know, they say business is all about relationships, and I have learned that lesson in my time. I had never met Professor Griffith before last night when he hosted a very lovely function at his official residence. But we chatted about the University of Guyana and the business of the University of Guyana in his office this afternoon, and there was an immediate connection. I would like to congratulate him on his investiture this afternoon, and I'd like to say that I leave here confident that this university is in good hands. Professor Griffith is not only a gentleman with a vision of where he wants to take this university, but he's also a very safe pair of hands. And we as a financial institution are very pleased to be able to do business with somebody with those characteristics. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another reason why I feel very pleased to be here this evening, and this is a personal note. My own father-in-law, Dr. Dennis Irvin, was the third Vice Chancellor Yes, he was the third Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. As I looked in this brochure here this afternoon and I saw a picture of him, that's the only complaint I really have. I remember when I first met his wife, I asked her, how did she meet him and how did she decide to marry him? And she told me he was the best looking man she had ever met. Well, I don't think this picture does him justice. So I'm going to send you a proper picture. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me say that Guyana and the Caribbean Development Bank go back a long way. Guyana, when the Caribbean Development Bank, when the charter of the bank and the treaty was signed back in 1969 in Kingston, Jamaica, Guyana was at the table because Guyana was a founding member of the Caribbean Development Bank. We who know and love the CDB will never forget that, because we also remember the tough times that Guyana went through when it was difficult to pay the debt service. But Guyana never ever missed a payment. It's no wonder you hire vice chancellors like Professor Griffith. So that relationship is a long-standing one. And you know, we have worked with Guyana through the difficult times, and now that Guyana has put itself on a different footing, and that Guyana appears to be on the cusp of a surge in development because of the hard work that has been done in this country and the tough decisions that have been taken. We want to be here with Guyana, and we will be here with you. But we also recognize that in spite of the economic progress, there is a social deficit that needs to be addressed. And Professor Harris mentioned it in his opening remarks, and he's bang on. The social indicators are not where they need to be. So the university has a key role to play in helping to address those things. Those of us who grew up in the Caribbean know that education is the road out of poverty for many generations of Caribbean people. And the University of Guyana will continue to play that role. But it needs more development, and that is why we're here this evening. We provided a technical assistance grant for the upgrading of your governance arrangements some years ago, and I'm pleased to say that some of those things have been implemented. And more recently, there was a CDB team in here having discussions with the government of Guyana, and the University of Guyana and its circumstances were very much on the table. I'm pleased to say, and I won't reveal the details because I don't want to steal the thunder of the Vice Chancellor, that we're going to be doing some business with UG, and we're going to do even more business with UG down the road. So, thank you. So in closing, let me say, once again, congratulations, Mr. Vice Chancellor. Thank you for inviting me. I have enjoyed the short time I've been here, and I look forward to meeting with you again and to doing some serious business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed, with the exception of Mr. President. Professor Ivelaw Griffith, congratulations. I bring congratulations on behalf of the chairman of the Private Sector Commission in Ivelaw, brought time here to also bring greetings and congratulations on behalf of all of the leaders of the 25 private sector organizations that are members of the Private Sector Commission that span all the subsectors in Guyana: the manufacturing sector, the tourism and hospitality, the forestry sector, and many others, including the chambers of commerce from the west of Guyana, the Corentyne Coast, Berbice, the western, the Essequibo and Bartica, Linden, the southern, the Rupununi, and the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. We all are very, very appreciative of your presence in Guyana, Professor Griffith. We know that you bring a different paradigm. And this is where this conference in the diaspora is so relevant today, because Professor Griffith brings a new paradigm, an expanded paradigm, an expanded training. And many of us who live and toil here in Guyana every day, sometimes our vision and paradigms are very narrow. And so I've heard many people whisper behind Professor Ivelaw Griffith back, who do you think he is? Why is he so grand? Why is he doing things different that wasn't done here for the last 40 years? Professor Griffith, the private sector say, keep on keeping on. We have to be grateful when persons from the diaspora like Ivelaw Griffith, Colonel Egbert Fields, people who have gone overseas and expand their paradigms come back and serve our country the way they're doing. Sometimes they're doing the great personal sacrifices to themselves and their families, and we appreciate it. I watch these proceedings and reflect on order and discipline. And it looked like military standards to me. Not as good, but almost there. An order and standard that many of us in this room in the military lived for decades. An order and standard that many of us would agree have been slipping in our country. An order and discipline that needs to be revitalized. This university came in one time with a lot of criticism from the private sector, because one time a young lady, a friend of mine, did her bachelor's degree at this university. And then a few years after, she went on to do her master's at Mona in Jamaica. And I remember she calling back and telling us that the way the students were treated in the University of the West Indies, both in terms of the personal treatment and the facilities, made her feel more special. And I believe, and I remember when she went to school here, she was telling me at times that she ran from room to room with her chair. And those were things that needed to be fixed. And Ivelaw Griffith said he will fix those things. Ivelaw Griffith, thank you very much, Professor. I say to you, keep on keeping on. Please be reminded, the chairman said to me, to say to you that the private sector is ready to meet with you in the next weeks, in the next months, and the years, to offer you all the support we could in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Registrar. May I begin by adopting the protocol already established. A pleasant good afternoon to all. Today, the distinct pleasure and honor is mine. On behalf of the government and people of Guyana, in my capacity as Minister of Education, I offer heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Ivelaw Lloyd Griffith, 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. Vice Chancellor Griffith, in the past year, you have brought a drive towards innovation at a time when even its best supporters of the institution would admit that the university was in danger of stagnation. You have contributed to a sense of augustness and appropriate academic decorum at a time when the university was increasingly being seen as a place undeserving of respect. You have a personal reputation for academic excellence, and you are proof that the University of Guyana was capable almost 4 decades ago of producing a young man, a brilliant Guyanese mind, who would go out into the wider academic world, carve out a stellar career, and return back to his alma mater. The government of Guyana as a whole, and of course the people of Guyana, and in particular the Ministry of Education, looks forward to your continued contribution as we are reforming and creating innovation-oriented public education system that will prepare our people for the challenging and exciting era to come. On this note, I congratulate you on your investiture as the 10th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, and may God bless us all. Thank you.